All right, so picture this. You're with your mates watching the match, right? And you just have this feeling, this like gut instinct about who's going to make the next big play. You know that feeling.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Well, today we're diving into these football analytics websites, the ones that say they can make those gut feelings, a bit more, well, scientific.
Bit more data-driven, you could say.
Exactly. And our playbook for this deep dive is this article we found, Sports Analysis Websites for 2024.
Best platforms reviewed. We got to see if these sites are the real deal or just, really good at marketing.
Yeah, got to cut through the hype.
For sure. So right away, the article's all about comprehensive data, expert predictions, all the good stuff. But before we get too carried away, let's break down what that actually means. What are we really talking about here? It's like, imagine this massive digital brain constantly crunching numbers from like thousands of matches, goals, assists, even those penalty shootouts. It's all data to these platforms.
So they're not just looking at like who won or lost, but really digging into every little detail of the game.
Oh, yeah, they go deep. Remember the article mentioned those advanced tools for tracking team and player performance over time? That's where it gets really interesting.
Okay, so like what? Tracking how a team plays after a big win? Or if a player always seems to score against a specific team?
Exactly. Think about it. If you can spot those patterns, those tendencies, that could be huge for predicting what might happen next.
It's like having a secret weapon. So are they basically saying you can ditch those risky hunches and make like informed decisions based on pure data?
That's the idea they're selling, yeah. And, to be fair, understanding the data can definitely give you an edge. But
There's always a but.
right, there's always a but. We are talking to football here, not, some perfectly predictable thing.
True, because we've all seen those matches where a team just pulls off a miracle win.
Exactly. You can't always predict a last-minute wonder goal or,
Yeah.
A sudden shift in momentum, and those are things that data can't always capture.
Okay, but speaking of those unpredictable moments, what about those crazy win rates and profit numbers these sites throw around? Like this article mentions a 75.94% win rate and a 132.11 profit loss. I was like, are these guys wizards or something?
Well, not quite wizards. It's important to remember those numbers, they're averages, right?
So, like, they could be cherry picking the best results.
Could be. Plus, you got to ask, what were the odds on those wins? Were they risky bets or safer bets? And probably most importantly, how consistent are those results over time? Anyone
Makes sense. So, maybe stick to the big leagues if you're using these sites.
could be a good starting point. But hey, those smaller leagues, they could be good for those, like high risk, high reward kind of folks. If you know what you're doing, maybe there's an edge to be found there.
All right, I like the way you think.
Uh,
Okay, then there's this Ekstraklasa, the Polish league, right? 100% win rate, 38% ROI. That sounds, I don't know, almost too good to be true.
Yeah, got to be careful there. I mean, it's possible to have a hot streak, but those numbers, especially in a league known for being competitive, it raises some eyebrows.
So what you're saying is don't just blindly trust those big flashy numbers. Gotta dig a little deeper.
Exactly. Look at the league, look at the types of bets they're making. Speaking of which, the article did mention that different bet types, they have totally different success rates.
Right, like it's not just about who wins or loses, but all those other factors, over under, first goal scorer, all that.
Exactly. Adds a whole other layer of complexity. And it shows that these sites, they're not magic, right? They're tools. And if you use them right, they can give you some really good insights.
All right, so we've talked about the good, the bad, and the kind of suspicious stuff. But how about we lift the hood on these prediction engines? The article mentions data analysis and expert insights, but what's the secret sauce? What's really going on behind the scenes?
Well, they're not messing around when they say data. We're talking like mountains of the stuff. Match results, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But also player stats, even things like, I don't know, transfer history.
Wow, they're really trying to cover all the bases. But how do they even, I don't know, make sense of it all? You can't just feed a computer a bunch of numbers and expect it to tell you the future, right?
Right, you need the analysis part. That's where the algorithms come in.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they're like sets of rules that help find those patterns in the data. Like maybe a team, they always struggle after playing a certain rival, or a player who just seems to score more when it's, pouring rain.
So it's all about finding the stories behind the numbers.
Exactly. But, and this is a big but, even the smartest algorithm, it can't predict everything, right? What if a team changes their formation at the last minute? Or a star player gets injured in warm-up? That's where those expert insights come into play.
So are these experts like football psychics or something?
Uh-huh. Not quite. Think more like experienced analysts, former players maybe, even those data scientists who just live and breathe football stats. The key is, are these sites transparent about it? Do they tell you who these experts are, how they're chosen?
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I'd want to know if some guy who used to play for, say, Manchester United is making predictions about their rivals. There might be some bias there.
Exactly. And it goes back to what we've been saying all along. These sites can be amazing tools, but they're not perfect. You can't just switch off your brain and blindly follow their picks.
So use your head, do your research.
Absolutely. The real value is in understanding the data, all the different factors that go into a match. Then you can make your own informed decisions.
Basically, become your own expert.
Exactly. Think of these websites as a way to level up your football knowledge. Not just, a shortcut to easy money.
Right, because where's the fun in that? Well, there you have it, everyone. Our deep dive into the world of football analytics websites. We've looked at what they do, how they work, and what to watch out for. Now it's your turn. Use this knowledge wisely, have some fun with it, and most importantly, enjoy the beautiful game.